I didn't have a plan for this. There's nothing planned whatsoever. I just figured, hey, I'm going to test out a few things and I'll go live to do it and we'll see what the fuck happens. No, this is not our bathroom live stream. This is a bathtub. This isn't our bathtub live stream, but it is preparation for it and better lighting. See the lights? You can't see the lights. I'm not going to show you the lights. We're going to keep the illusion for when you watch this later. Specifically Miguel, who isn't with us tonight or really tomorrow. SCP man says Greg looks like a teenager. Thank you. That's so nice of you. That's really nice of you. I'm 36, so you flatter me. I mean, I don't know, man. If you're flirting with me, you're doing a great job. That's all I'll say. That's it. Thank you. That's really sweet. Oh, Peacemaker. First episode, very good. First 5 episodes were given to the press to review, so no one knows what's on 6, 7, or 8. But apparently 6, 7, and 8 is like fucking crazy. Like, and again, no one has seen episode 6, 7, and 8. I want to stress that no one has seen 6, 7, and 8, not even the press. So whatever happens, it's either a lot of hyperbole or it's really big, and James Gunn keeps teasing a cameo. So I feel like Superman, Lex Luthor, there's some possibilities there. There is. There's some options there. But if you haven't seen the first episode of Peacemaker, highly recommend you watch it. You can watch it illegally. I encourage doing illegal things, especially when it comes to giant corporations worth billions of dollars. So hey, fuck them. Yeah, I don't care how you watch it, but I do recommend you watch it. Peacemaker's good. A lot of Batman references, more Batman characters than you would expect. So White Rabbit made her live action debut. I don't know. I think it's live action debut, but I didn't watch any of that shit on CW or anything like that. And then also a Gotham City Police Department detective appeared in the show. His name escapes me. I would have to use online, and I'd have to like really show how little of a fan I am of the wider Batman universe. SCP Man says 36 and still look young, and SCP Man says very skibidi of you. I don't know what that means. I know what skibidi toilet is, but I don't know what is very skibidi of me. Wait a second. SCP Man, are you in the Discord? And if so, who are you in the Discord? Or are you SCP Man in the Discord? I don't know. SCP Man. Are you who I think you are? No, you're not. I don't think so. Sorry, just Skibidi, and it's like, oh shit, are you Radio Doc? Because that's all he fucking talks about. But like I said, I didn't really have a plan for this. I just here, and I know Miguel's not here, and I know that. I know he'll watch this later. Man, it's me, Radio. Oh, okay. See, that's what happens when you don't have the same fucking name everywhere. Okay? Like, now I know, but like you should put like in parentheses on Discord, SCP Man. Because it would just be helpful. But now I know, but you saying very skibidi of you did give you away. I immediately was like, Pah! Ronnie! Fucking Ronnie! Hi, Ronnie. Ronnie, are you in the Discord? What's your fucking name? And SCP Man says, just having fun. I know, man, you don't gotta explain, that. Like, your autism is showing. Anyway. It has been a hot fucking minute, Ronnie. It's so good to see you. Always love seeing your name pop up. But yeah, I am curious. If you're in the Discord, I'd just like to know who you are so I can relate you to whatever your name is in the Discord. I'm not in the Discord. Oh. Do do you want to be like? Do you want me to post the invite? Like, do you want to be? I don't care. It's not a big deal. I'm not. I don't care. Like, I'm really nonchalant. I feel like it's me asking. Maybe I'll make one again. Oh, you don't even have a Discord. Okay. Well, yeah. Our Discord's pretty laid back if you want to join it. I felt like I was asking a girl out. Like, oh, but if you don't want to, that's fine. I really felt like that for a minute. Sorry, I have a message from. Message from my sister. Okay, so. Oh yeah, well, I mean, because if you don't have one, then like there's none to be done about it. But if you do make one and you only want to join one Discord, I recommend ours because it's really laid back. Radio, SCP man, can absolutely, I don't know. But Radio Man can 100% be like, oh yeah, I'm in the Discord and it's fucking awesome. This was mostly during lockdown. Oh shit, the dark times. Fuck man, don't even get me started on the fucking lockdown. Okay, SCP Man says Skibidi just means cool in some places. Well, yeah, but that's also the biggest clue to like, oh, I can identify you anywhere online. Like anytime I see a reference to Skibidi, I'm like, is that radio? Is that fucking radio? And then I'll message them, and 99% of the time it's not. But this time it was. Yeah, I've had the same Discord since 2017, and we've had the tower also since 2017, I think. Yeah, 2017. The tower and my Discord account, like we've all had that since. Well, I mean, because again, I made my Discord when my channel really took off. And when that first channel really took off, so it was like, fuck, okay. And then our Discord spiked at 2,000 people, and then we purged this year. So our Discord went from 2,000 people to 29. But that's also, I don't really like professionally do this YouTube stuff anymore. I do it for the shit posting, for the fun of it, because I have like my career is like Monday through Friday, so it's like, you know. Now, don't get me wrong. If I suddenly posted a random video of me dancing, you know, shaking my ass, and it made $1 million, I would 100% quit my job and make another video of me shaking my ass. But I don't think that's gonna make money, so I'm not gonna do it. And that's where we are. But yeah, and again, just to stress it, I had no plans for this stream except for I did like Peacemaker, and they keep referencing more Batman stuff. More Batman stuff keeps like coming into the canon, so I think that's cool. Yeah, beyond that, like I've been playing Honkai. I literally did the entire cooking event. I got every stamp. I maxed it out. Honkai Star Rail. And I'm done. Like with that, I felt like Gordon Ramsay was fucking awesome. Are any of you guys circumcised? It's a late night stream. We haven't done one in a while. I haven't seen Peacemaker Season 2 yet. That's fair. There's only one episode. So you're not behind. There's literally, it premiered yesterday, and there is only one episode. I do highly recommend it, though. It's very good, and I'm excited for where it's going to take the DC universe. Like, I'm legitimately excited for it. I'm not the biggest fan of James Gunn when he goes full R-rated, his humor. I don't know. It doesn't really click with me all the time. But like the story and at least where it's going, I'm interested. Like I am interested. I'm very curious. And then, so let's see. Is there any news at all? Again, we knew this. I posted this in the Discord. This isn't like news, but again, that this has already kind of been covered. James Gunn did confirm the next projects that he considers to be next in line in production. Like these are coming up. and it is his film that he's writing and directing, which involves Superman, but is not Superman 2. Paradise Lost, the animated series, Batman the Brave and the Bold, and Wonder Woman. And then, and again, Wonder Woman's a film, Batman the Brave and the Bold is a film, Paradise Lost animated series, and then Booster Gold is an HBO Max series. He says those are the closest ones that will be developed next, just based on how far along they are right now versus other projects. And then he went on to say there is one other project that will be filming this year, and no one knows what it is, and it is not any of the ones he just talked about. So I don't know. I honestly don't. The only thing he does confirm, though, is that it is a TV series. So it's an HBO Max series. He anticipates it to film within the year, and it has nothing about it has been leaked. I have no idea what that could be. Because, I mean, like, talk about off the wall. Like, I mean, like, it could be anything. We know it's live action. We know it hasn't leaked. That could be anything. It takes some stuff off. It's not Teen Titans. It's not Waller. But I don't know what the fuck it is. So I mean, like, yeah, I don't fucking know. And then Marvel's going through a bunch of shit, which is a shame. Disney is rounding up executives, and Disney is speaking with multiple filmmakers to try to attract the attention of Gen Z and their massive loss of male audience. Disney is disappointed in Marvel and Lucasfilm, and they can't understand why the Marvel and Star Wars properties are failing. Really? Really? That's like being in an abusive relationship and the abuser going, I don't know why you're leaving. Really? Come on. Like, how do you... You fucked up Star Wars, you fucked up Marvel, and you just ignoring that completely, because again, Star Wars is shit, unfortunately. I mean, Star Wars has always been touch and go, objectively. Ignoring biases, objectively as a storyteller, Star Wars has always been touch and go. But for Disney to not accept any responsibility? Really? I don't fucking know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, that seems crazy to me. Ronnie hold on. SCP Man Radio. I'm just gonna fucking call you Radio. Radio says, it is a chill discourse, so I recommend it. Thank you. Ronnie says, do you have an idea on what you think it is? Just my opinion? Okay, so hasn't leaked at all. Because we got to take everything into account. We got to take everything that we know has leaked and remove that. So you got to let me process that. James Gunn is really excited about it. It hasn't leaked, and it's ready to film. And it's a TV series. HBO Max. We're getting Lanterns. We've got Creature Commandos. Booster Gold. What else fits? What's that kind of prestige? 8, what works as 8 episodes? What corner of Gods and Monsters still needs to be filled in? I don't know, because some of that's where I get confused. Because I don't know if the actor is right about what he thinks is coming up, but because again, there's what James Gunn said, and then there's what, I can't remember the actor's name, I'm sorry, Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo talks about something coming up. I don't know if it's the same thing, though, because for Frank, it could also be James Gunn's next film. So it's possible that Frank is talking about James Gunn's next film, which again could have not Sergeant, Rick Flag. What's his rank? It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, but it's possible that Frank will be in the next super film. I don't, because again, nobody knows what it is, and James Gunn is very strict on it's not Superman 2, but it will co-star David as Superman. So it's like, okay, David is prominent in this film. Superman is a main character in this film, but it is not a Superman film. It is not specifically Superman 2. So I think Rick Flag could fit into that just like he did in Superman. Otherwise, like I think we need the magic. So Zatanna is something that wasn't leaked and that no one knows about. So like I don't think Zatanna's come up at all. So I would like that. We talked about that in the Discord, which is why it's in my brain. I would love to see that corner of the DC universe start to get fleshed out, especially because this chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Ronnie says the Supergirl team up. I assume, like, there's only two avenues. I assume the film's either going to feature Superman and Supergirl, or it's World's Finest, which that's just me wanting to see Batman and Superman team up and have it done right. But I don't know. I don't know what that is either. That looks like I'm looking for boobies. But yeah, like it's either going to be Superman and Supergirl, or it's going to be Batman and Superman. That's it. I mean, that's it. That's literally fucking it. But yeah, right now James Gunn's Super film is scheduled to come out in 2027. They've already earmarked it, and it's planned to go into production again. Probably within 6 months, it's planned to go into production. So whatever it is, we're going to know about it soon. And then, of course, everything, if things continue at this pace, we've got Batman, we've got Wonder Woman, again, Booster Gold, all that shit. And then, of course, we have the stuff that's already finished. Supergirl, Lanterns, Creature Commandos Season 2. There's a lot coming down the pipeline. But yeah, so Zatanna is a corner that I think needs to be covered in the DC universe. And I think Zatanna would serve an 8-episode series better than she would a film. And Magic just lends itself to that kind of prestige format. The supernatural rating, the MA/R rating, whatever the fuck you want to call the rating. I think it's all there. I think it all allows itself to do more. Anyway. Beyond Zatanna, I know someone in the Discord, and maybe even the same person who said Zatanna. I know somebody in the Discord said Constantine. I think Constantine can work in other people's projects, but I don't know if we need a constant. I don't know if he's on DC's mind, because it doesn't seem like he is. He doesn't seem like he's on James Gunn's mind, just like Green Arrow isn't on James Gunn's mind. I hope to see all these characters, but it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing them within the next 18 months at least. Ronnie says, I want to see Flash soon. I do too, but I think the earliest we start seeing characters like the Flash and Aquaman is probably 2027. I think that is the earliest we see them. Unfortunately, that's just because of the way things shook out with the other DC films and how they bombed spectacularly. I don't know if there's really room for that any sooner. But I think if anything, they could be supporting characters. Because again, I go back to the DC animated universe, and specifically Superman the Animated Series. In Superman the Animated Series, we were introduced to Green Lantern, we were introduced to Flash, we were introduced to Aquaman, we were introduced to Steel, to Supergirl, the list goes on and on. Why can't the films do that? I mean, Superman lends himself really well to being paired with these characters. Again, look at the Superman film. I mean, the supporting cast is amazing there. It's a Superman film, but his supporting cast is really well balanced, and it covers both parts of Superman's life. I think that trend needs to continue. And if you're going to continue it, then take inspiration from the animated series. You could introduce the Flash. I don't know if you want to do, because again, depending on where the timeline kind of makes up, if it's going to be Barry or Wally, or if Barry and Wally, if Wally's going to be a young Flash identity, whatever the fuck they do, but have the Flash in a Superman film or in a super film. And again, same for Aquaman. You could do that. I, I mean, like the Superman the animated series did those in 22 minutes. So think about that. And think about how James Gunn broke up the Superman film that we did get. Think about how he paced it. Think about how he broke it up. If you compare it to that, then again, 44 minutes and you've introduced two superheroes. You don't need to over explain it. Audiences don't give a shit. Kids know them. You don't even have to be in a nerd household. Like, those names, because of Teen Titans Go and because of how DC's kind of approached kid properties, kids know them. I know that from my kids being in school and daycare and all that shit. Like, kids know these characters. Hey, Nero! I haven't seen you in a long fucking time. Nero says, do you think Justice League movie will happen before 2028? No, I don't. I do not see it. There's just no way. We don't even have the Trinity. And I think James Gunn will want to put a Batman and Wonder Woman film out before Justice League. I 100% believe that. No, the earliest we get Justice League is 2030. That is the earliest. We have so much to build, and if you really think about it, with how much we have to build, and DC's only doing 2 theatrical films a year. So in 2026, we're getting Supergirl and Clayface. In 2027, we're getting the Super film, and I guess I don't know if when James Gunn says 2 films, if the Batman Part 2 is going to count. He hasn't been really specific. So we're either getting 2 DCU films plus the Batman Part 2, or we're getting the Super Family film and the Batman Part 2. So that kind of plays a role into that. Then in 2028, my assumption, looking at the schedule, 2028 is more, again, this is based off what James Gunn said literally yesterday. If you look at the projects that are furthest along, 2028 is going to be Batman, Brave and the Bold, and Wonder Woman, which is perfect in my opinion. So 2029 could give us another kind of super team up or Trinity film and something else, and then 2030 would give us the Justice League. To me, that's perfect rollout. That's perfect to me. That's a 5-year plan. That's halfway through Gods and Monsters. Nero says, is Kyle Chandler staying on after Lanterns? I love John, but I want to see Hal stick around after. Yes and yes. Kyle Chandler has his contract was for multiple seasons of Lanterns and theatrical appearances. So I assume that's not a fake out, because again, they could do that and literally kill him off. But we posted a massive Lanterns leak in the Discord, which I believe is legitimate. So going off of all this information, it appears as though with Kyle's contract and with whatever's going on in Lanterns, Kyle is sticking around, and not just for flashbacks, but that Hal Jordan does survive Lanterns. That was one of the things in the leak, without getting into every little specific detail of the leak, because I don't have it in front of me right now. But the leak was very clear that Hal Jordan survived season 1. He does not die. And that will prove whether or not that leak is legitimate, besides the other information in it. But like, if the information doesn't correlate when we start watching Lanterns, then we're like, oh, okay, this leak wasn't legitimate. What the fuck's going to happen? But if things line up to the leak, then we know, even before the show finishes, Hal Jordan survives. But the leak did say that Hal Jordan does survive, and that ties in with Kyle Chandler's contract, which is for multiple seasons of Lanterns, and he has a clause in his contract for theatrical appearances. So he's covered for these 10 years of Chapter 1. And of course, James Gunn has also said that he is completely willing and capable of recasting. He does believe that any of these characters can be recast at a moment's notice if the need arises. So that's good. James Gunn is not going to shelve a character because of an actor, because that's dumb. Talk about ego. These actors, it's really weird how Hollywood treats these people like they're irreplaceable, and it's like, no, I'm pretty sure people turn out for the characters. And you know how I can prove that? Chris Evans, Tom Holland, Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr. None of them do numbers when they're not in a Marvel film. Again, I mean, I'm sorry, but they don't. None of them do. None of them rake in that kind of money. So their name isn't selling tickets. Just saying. Fuck Hollywood, though. Fuck that whole fucking system. Corporate fucking bullshit. Trying to play like they're one of us. They're fucking not. Rob them. And just rob billionaires. Fuck billionaires. Billionaires shouldn't exist. Anybody been watching South Park? No? Yeah, fine. I do like the lighting. It is a little better. It's a little better. I can probably work on it more. But for the test tonight, pretty good. So when Miguel watches this, fuck you, Miguel. He'll watch it at some point. He survived his plane ride, and there were no snakes on it. That kind of bummed me out. Sorry, I'm checking notifications on my phone. But yeah, so when we look at what's coming up from DC, we have Lanterns and Supergirl, and then Clayface, and then Creature Commando Season 2. Super family film. Somewhere within that, this unknown project that's about to film, which, again, if James Gunn isn't bullshitting us, we'll know soon. We don't know if there's going to be a season 3 of Peacemaker yet, so we're waiting on that. We know that if Lanterns is successful, there will be a season 2 of Lanterns. Everybody has a contract for it, so we kind of have that in reserve. Yeah. And then that's not counting stuff like Dynamic Duos, that animated puppet CGI film that's about Dick and Jason, which right now is not set in the DCU. So take it or, well, don't take it or leave it. You got to take it. That's the info. That's just fucking it. Let's see. Fantastic Four is being called a bomb. I don't know what to do about that. Everything's a bomb. It's like, I don't know. Did it really do that bad? It did bad internationally, but everything did now. It looks like superhero films no longer have China to rely on. So, it is what it is. If you don't got China, you're fucking... If you don't have China anymore, you pretty much have to rely on the domestic market, which means you have to make cheaper movies. That's just it. You have to make cheaper movies if China's not going to come in clutch, or international. It looks like the international audience for superhero films has dried up completely. Most of Asia seems to be leaning towards anime. Even Japan is leaning more towards their anime films. Their anime films are doing numbers, but the spectacle of superheroes has just wore off. So if it's not a good film, people aren't going to turn out for it. On top of the fact that I think American messaging isn't being received well. I think that's one of the things when it comes to like the art style and direction of the Fantastic Four culturally. Other countries aren't going to relate to that because that was so much of that design, the deco, the style that's based on American propaganda from the 50s and 60s. I don't think that's going to connect. So visually, it's not interesting to them, even if it is interesting to us. And it's only interesting to us because superhero films are so samey lately. Versus Superman, which had an identity and had a style and a personality. But, and again, this is just me spitballing. Superman did way better than... that's crazy. Like, DC did better than Marvel this year. That's really cool. But Superman did not do well internationally. But again, none of the Marvel films did well internationally. So superhero films just didn't do well. I think one of the reasons Superman maybe didn't do well internationally is because, again, culturally, other countries associate him with truth, justice, and the American way. And I don't think people really agree on what the American way means anymore. And even though Superman doesn't really have that as his motto anymore, it's still associated with the character. It's ingrained in the character. You bring it up to a whole generation of people, and that's Superman's motto. Even though it never like really was, but it sort of was in a roundabout way. And so I think it just kind of falls flat. Nero says, I'm curious to see where Peacemaker is going. So am I. I'm really curious. I'm even more curious because nothing's leaked out about the end. One, press hasn't seen the final 3 episodes, which I think is a bonus. But like, it could go anywhere right now, and I'm interested to see what that direction is. And Nero also says, I'm just not very interested in Marvel right now. Yo, no, I agree. Now, on a basic level, on a personal level, I'm right there with you. I'm not either. Marvel hasn't. It's too samey. They haven't done anything interesting. They're not trying. In my opinion, they're not trying. They're nervous to upset people. It's so dry. There's not even any romance. It's not, and I'm not sexy in like in a boring, titillating way that only interests a certain audience. But there's not even there's no romance. There's no chemistry. Like, it's so fucking bland. It's so, and you can feel how corporate it is. I mean, there is more intense romance in Superman than there's been in a Marvel film in a decade. 8 years? I don't give a fuck. But, and that matters to me because it's just personal, like it's that kind of personal relationships between these characters. It's something more, but it's so flat. It's so fucking flat. And there's nothing. It's just bland. Marvel's so bland. It doesn't take chances. It doesn't take risks anymore. It's not trying to have an identity of its own. It's trying to live off the nostalgic identity it had leading up to Infinity War and subsequently Endgame. But that's not working, and it will continue to bomb. The question becomes, will Doomsday be successful just because of nostalgia? And that interests me. I'm curious to see if Doomsday can make $1 billion, because Deadpool and Wolverine managed to. Deadpool and Wolverine is nostalgia bait. That's it. It's built on drawing the audience in with an expectation and then fulfilling that expectation for, oh, hey, you grew up with this in the early 2000s. You're an adult now. You come here and watch this and, member berries. That's what it is. And it worked. And it made $1 billion. If Doomsday can do that, but the question becomes, how many times can you do that gimmick and make $1 billion? Can you do that for Doomsday and for Secret Wars? And can you do that by having different characters? Like, Doomsday's going to have different characters versus Secret Wars, which is going to, if everything out there is true, not everything, but you understand the principle of what I'm saying. But if it's true that Tobey Maguire is going to be in Secret Wars with Hugh Jackman and with these other characters, and that Tobey Maguire is going to be leading a multiversal team, okay, yeah, that generational span will probably make $1 billion. But again, I still go to say, how many times can you do it? So Superman 100%, I had faith in Superman from the first time I started hearing about it. I still have faith in it. I have faith in the DC Universe. I love Superman. I love that film. It's so good. Nothing's perfect, right? Nothing's perfect. It is the Superman film that we needed, and it's the Superman film that pop culture needed to turn around on Superman. It's that good. It is the best Superman film I've seen. It is the best Superman film I've seen. It is the best film with Superman in it. You know the ones I'm talking about. But Batman v Superman, Justice League, Snyder's Justice League, Shazam. Well, I mean, I don't know if you want to count the post-credit scene. If you want to get really like bullshit with it, Black Adam. It is the best film starring and featuring Superman that exists. It is that good. It is that good. And it took this long to get it. So Nero. I 100% agree. Very hopeful for DC. I'm very optimistic about DC. I like Creature Commandos. I like Superman. I loved Superman, and now I am interested in Peacemaker. I like Peacemaker. Again, it's a different kind of humor. It's a different angle. It's not. It's not necessarily up my alley, so to speak. Um, I say that and then I make really juvenile jokes, but it's again, I'm interested in where it's going. I intend to follow through with it. But yeah, I'm super optimistic about DC. It's got nowhere to go but up. I mean, it was in the shit forever, and I mean that as like as nicely as possible. But like DC was shit for like 10 years, so really refreshing to get something good. Sorry, I'm playing some music because it's really quiet right now. There we go. But yeah, I'm excited. I think DC has nowhere to go but up. I think their Batman's going to be amazing. Again, if even if you remove the DCU and you want to talk about Elseworlds, Penguin got nominated for Emmys. Penguin was amazing. If you didn't watch the Penguin, yeah, it has nothing to do with the big, universe. But as a standalone property, that little Batman Matt Reeves saga, I think it's going to be a hit. I think Batman Part 2 is going to be a hit. Penguin was a huge hit. Penguin got nominated for multiple Emmys. And no, in the larger scheme of things, it doesn't fucking matter. Like awards don't fucking matter. It matters whether or not you enjoy something. But the majority seem to be enjoying it. They're turning out for it, right? Superman made really good money, and Superman can still make money. It is still making money. And I think the sequel has potential to make just as much or more. I don't think it needs a crazy budget because the international audience isn't there. But again, like we proved, the international audience isn't there for anything superheroes. The international audience is gone. So what that does is you have to budget these films on the basis of most of our money is going to come domestically, unless something changes in a few years where there's a turnaround, or again, people start having faith in DC and then maybe that expands the reach, or if James Gunn continues to follow through with his promise of films are going to have their own identity and he's courting international directors, that might change things because Marvel doesn't do that. Marvel's a machine. They churn out the same thing. It is a factory. They do the same thing. If James Gunn keeps his promise, though, what he's been telling reporters and what he tells DC Studios, if he follows through on his statements, then we could actually see an expansion into the international market for DC, and DC could gain ground that Marvel is losing dramatically because it's gone. I mean, if you look at the international numbers throughout this year for superheroes, it's wiped out. It's gone. There is no international audience anymore. They can't make their budget back and rely on international audiences, so they have to lower their budgets. And it's going to be interesting to see what Doomsday does with that. Supergirl is super cheap, so that's going to be fine. Clayface is a $40 million movie. That's going to be fine. That's going to be fine. Like, both of those films are going to be huge successes because of how cheap they are. Nero says, it's not for kids, but I do like the different tones between Superman and Peacemaker that we didn't get with Marvel at all. I absolutely agree, and that's why I'm cool with it. Like, don't get me wrong, Lanterns is going to be rated MA too. So it's like, but it's going to be a different vibe from Peacemaker. And it's going to be a different vibe from Superman and so on and so forth. And I'm cool with that. I want to be super clear. Like, I don't like everything in Peacemaker doesn't really hit with me, like every joke and every gag. And sometimes it's like, okay, there's an audience for this. And I know that, whatever, but it is, it has every right to exist. It's just some of the stuff I just get kind of bored with it because it's like, oh, okay. I'm interested to see where Peacemaker goes, but that's just me being honest. It's not bad. It is not bad. I like the setup. I love the premise. I think the cast is great. It's just when James Gunn gets to be completely off the leash, his stuff isn't always funny. It just kind of starts to fall flat with me. And it's just like, man, you gotta find different approaches to some of these jokes to make them land better, in my opinion. That's just me. I know some people probably laughed their ass off all the way through it. Nero says Penguin was great. Oh my God, yeah. Even just outside of Batman. I mean, like, dude, Penguin was really fucking good. It's dark. It's grimy. It's a really fucked up show. But it's a good show that whether or not it's in the DC Batman universe, it's a good fucking show. That's what I want. Like, motherfucker, I want Lanterns to be like that. Like, I mean, like, I really want more of that. Like, and Lanterns, again, if the leaks are true, Lanterns is going to be really fucked up, but in a different way from Penguin and in a different way from Peacemaker. But Lanterns is going to be fucked up. And Lanterns is taking inspiration from a lot of, without spoiling, again, if these leaks are true, I don't want to just drop spoilers. There's no spoiler warnings here. But if you know what happens to Hal Jordan, you know, in the 90s, there's inspiration there there's inspiration without going through, you know, all these characters living, dying, being resurrected and all this stuff. But Hal's been through some shit. He hasn't been through a universe-changing event. I want to be very clear on that. Like, there's been no big universe-altering events in the DCU film universe yet. But Hal's been through some shit that's given him an edge. He's not... And again, that's very much so inspired by his turn in the his turn in the 90s. And I think that's interesting. Because it's a way to play with that without, you know, not everything in comics is good. I mean, I'm just saying, not everything's good. Some of it can be adapted and be streamlined and be made better. And one of the things that can be made better is how some of these characters were dealt with. Like every piece of what these characters went through in the 90s, like, you don't need all of it. Like, you can do Parallax in a way without doing Parallax and without compromising Hal, but you can still have Hal go through shit without compromising him, without compromising his character, but still give him a twist and an arc and room for redemption and have space to play with it in terms of the timeline. Because when you have almost 100 years of history for most of these characters, how do you do it all? And in terms of the inspiration of like pulling from characters, it's like, okay, well, how do we have all these characters? How do we have a huge universe where everybody can exist, and so where everybody already exists? And it's like, well, you know, Hal was a Green Lantern for a while, and he's not a rookie. Hal's not supposed to be a rookie in an established universe, and I agree with that. Like, this isn't that universe, and I think Kyle's perfect for it. I really do. I think going after Kyle's age is really unfair. The dude looks great, and he has a DC contract for 10 years. Like, the dude wants to do this. Like, I love what James Gunn said. James Gunn said, like, we're not hiring people that don't want to do this. We're hiring people that want to play this character long term. And you're going after Kyle Chandler? Why? Like, what the fuck? It's just like, he wanted to be Hal Jordan. He got the role, wants to be Hal Jordan, and he's going to be Hal Jordan for a long time. Yeah, all these people are going to be recast, but that's life. If you're going to do live action, we all die. So it's like, you're going to recast him anyway, unless your argument is Marvel and DC have to end when all their actors die because we can't recast. That's fucking dumb. I'm sorry. I'm so happy James Gunn came out of the gate, yesterday and said, no, we'll recast. He said, I'll recast. All these characters will be recast. Like, okay, thank you. Let's move on. Nero says, they mentioned True Detective as an inspiration for Lanterns. I'm a fan of that show a lot, so that excites me. I agree, True Detective is very good. And in terms of the leaks, I can totally see where that's pulling from. Like, I really can see where in the leaks about how it ties into True Detective. Brandon says, what were you yapping about, Greg? right now we're just kind of on DC. I'm cool to yap about anything. I gave myself an hour because I uh, found myself with time, and I wanted to see how this lighting looked, and I wanted to adjust my camera and play with it a little bit just to try to make it work better. And then when Miguel comes back, it's like, fuck you, Miguel. I look like a fucking professional again. Anyway, but no, I'm chill to about whatever. Nero says, do you think we'll get our look at the suits soon? For lanterns? It's August? No. I don't think we'll see anything from lanterns until early next year. I'm happy to be wrong, but I don't expect lanterns to premiere until like May. How, we got our first look at Superman in December. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go off my memory of when we got our first looks like at Peacemaker season 2. My best example, because I mean I can search it up and look it up. I don't mind, unless somebody already knows the answer. But how long did we get a first look at Peacemaker season 2? And how long did we get our first look at Superman? Was like November, right? It was November. I feel like it was like Christmas or something. But it was that really vague teaser. Yeah. That sounds about right. I feel like it was holiday. It was Christmas. It was December, so December to July. So then if Lanterns premieres in May or June, then 8 weeks. It needs to run for 8 weeks. It's not going to overlap with Supergirl. If it overlaps with Supergirl, I'll be shocked. So yeah, January or December. Potentially the Super Bowl. The American Super Bowl in February. I don't know. Well, I know SCP Man and Brandon are American. I don't know if Nero is. Nero, are you in the Discord under a different name? Anyway. But yeah, I think like I would give it like a few month window, 6 months maybe for that first teaser. So not relatively soon, but like again, it depends on the release window. And it's like, is it going to come out before Supergirl or after Supergirl? Because I can't imagine those 8 weeks running with I can't imagine those 8 weeks like running with in the middle of Supergirl. I could be wrong. Maybe they're not worried about that. But they, even with Peacemaker, they put that far enough away. So, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm trying to go off my memory. I'm not searching it up yet. I can, but I did not yet. So, yeah. Ooh, that's like... That looks really blue. It is not that blue. I'm not in the Discord. Oh, okay. What the fuck? Here you go if you want to be. It's really blue. Like it's not that blue. Click the link. Brandon says with a devil face. That's not sus. You're gonna click the link and it's just gonna be like, you're gonna be it's a sex dungeon Discord. It was perfect timing. I got a notification right as I said that, like, oh, YouTube just blocked your video. Okay, we got about 10 minutes. I wanted to go for an hour. And I can go for an hour. I will let that sink in. But yeah, I wanted to at least, I set aside an hour. because I could. Um, see my fingers? Look how good I am with my fingers. It's these two that matter. Okay. Brandon just said Jesus. That's just it. It's like Jesus. White Jesus or black Jesus? Anyway, Nero says, do you think Superman or a Superman character? Yes. Superman. I think Superman will appear in it, and I think it's possible Lex Luthor does as well because Lex is in Belle Reve. But yeah, if I you know, and again, 100%, like, I don't have, there's no leaks. I don't have any leaks to share. There's no leaks anywhere about the final 3 episodes. But I truly, in my gut, Superman. I truly, Superman is in this show. He might not be in it for long, but Superman, I mean, because, like, who's bigger? Like, because they're not going to have Batman make his first appearance in this. They're not going to have Wonder Woman make her first appearance in this. Maybe Booster Gold. But I don't think Booster Gold's enough to freak out audience. Superman? After his big successful movie, the biggest Superman movie ever, the biggest super movie of the year, blah, 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 blah. Yes. Fuck yeah. Superman. Anyway, Superman. Superman. Watch it be Superman. And maybe Lex. I think Lex could also appear. I mean, I'm not limiting it. I don't think it just has to be one, but yeah. Brandon says, I'm going to get the water hose, Greg. You're going to need a big water hose. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but it sounded funny. But yeah, Superman. Superman. Got a few minutes left. Again, for an impromptu stream that I didn't schedule, didn't have plans for. Thank you all. We kept the chat going for a whole hour. There was something to talk about for the entire hour. Thank you. Yay. Yeah, okay. What you think about the Lego Batman game? Oh, man. Fucking love it. Legacy of the Dark Knight is going to be amazing. Over 700 costumes split between all the playable characters. Holy shit. One, that's cool, because I like playing dress up, motherfucker. Even in real life, I like playing dress up. Anyway. Super excited for it. Like, pre-ordered. Love the fucking co-op. Like, fucking Batman, Arkham style, Lego design. Like, fuck yeah. Good fucking Batman game that's actually going to be good co-op. Fuck you, Gotham Knights. How do you have a Batman game and not fucking have Batman in it? Fucking Gotham Knights. Just fuck you. Yes, Brandon, 700. I don't think it was a typo. No, it said 700. It still says 700. Where the fuck am I? Not like existential. Rainbow Batman costume. That is not a woke thing. Rainbow Batman existed since the 50s. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, fucking Nero. I knew it was fucking coming. Because I saw it. I had a friend send me that bullshit, and I was like, oh my god. Where the fuck? I swear to you. Hold on. Because now I sound crazy. I know I read it today while I was at work. Like 700 costumes. What the fuck? Where's the article? I'm not crazy. Hold on. Let's see. Gaming news. I know, Greg. Well, I figured. I'm playing around. I am playing along with you. Brandon says, wasn't that game supposed to get like a big DLC? I figured they would have done an expansion where you play as Batman for Gotham Knights. Yeah, there was going to be, because again, we found it on LinkedIn. There was employees who were working on Gotham Knights DLC. It was all canceled after the game bombed. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. I'm not crazy. But not giving us Arkham skins, at least a cardinal fucking sin. I want my Arkham Red skin. Yeah, right? Like, how do you not give people Arkham skins? Like, what the fuck was the thought process behind that fucking bullshit? Just fucking bullshit. Okay, hold on. I'm not crazy. I know I saw this. What the fuck? We're at 56 minutes, so... Huh. What the fuck? Where the fuck is it? Was it shared in the chat? In the Discord? Was it? I mean, like, come on. Where the fuck did this go? Okay. I don't visit that many sites in a 24-hour period. Like, there's only a handful of sites that I could have ran across that headline. You've got to be shitting me. DCU games are coming. I'm going to try to talk while I do this. There are DCU games in development. One of them will have David reprising his role as... David will reprise his role as Superman in an upcoming DCU game, but James Gunn did note that it is a couple of years away, but that a DCU game with David Superman is in development. Oh my god. Did I just like... Did I just like jump to a fucking different reality for a few hours today? Okay, never mind. Okay, Legacy of the Dark Knight will not support online multiplayer or online co-op. It will only be couch co-op. Sorry, I'm just like trying to... This is crazy. I know I saw that headline today. I am not crazy. I saw the headline at work. Okay, let's see. Brendan says, I know how you feel. Shit makes you feel crazy when you swear you've seen something but can't find it. Okay, so there are Riddler puzzles just like from Arkham in Legacy of the Dark Knight. I'm going through literally every little bit of Arkham news, so you're going to get to hear all of it. Goons are no longer called goons. They're called hench person, which is funny because we fucked up the word goon since the last time there was a Lego Batman game. Come on. Non-Batman characters will not be in Legacy of the Dark Knight, so no other Justice League members. Superman doesn't appear. It is all about Batman. The Gotham City in Legacy of the Dark Knight is bigger than the Gotham City in Arkham Knight and Gotham Knights. Found it! Oh, my bad. Okay, so I was close. It is not 700, which is why I didn't find it, but I did find it. We'll have, and again, it kind of looks like a 7, honestly, when I'm distracted at work. We'll have over 100 bat suits to choose from. La 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 la. I can't talk. And honestly, when I was scrolling earlier, yeah, the one looks like a 7. And so when you're scrolling quickly on a bathroom break and you're just trying to do some reading and you're texting a girl, you know, you don't pay that much attention. But I was close. It was in the hundreds. And over 100 could still be 700. Just say it. Could still be 700 because over 100 is close to 7. Anyway, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight will include over 100 bat suits, confirms TT Games. So I was close. Oh, Silk Song got a release date, finally. I don't know about anybody else in Hollow Knight. I love Hollow Knight, so I'm very excited for Silk Song. When Ass wanted to take so long, they had the money. They didn't have to rush it. Which I guess is a good thing. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to wrap up. We're just over an hour, so we're going to get ready to wrap up now. Yeah. Nothing else immediately comes to mind. I consider this a successful test of my lighting in the camera. We're good. If nobody else has anything to add, we can wrap up here. So, yeah. I'm going to awkwardly pick my nose while we fade out. All right. Again, I do hope you guys have a good weekend. I will be in the Discord, you know, acting like an idiot, as I'm wont to do. Thank you guys, though. Thanks, everybody, for joining in when you did join in. Thank all of you. Again, fuck you, Miguel. Suck it. And we'll see you. Successful stream. Right, yeah, it is. I consider this a success. I was not wearing pants for any of this. At all. I did not put on pants. I am completely, like, all I have on is a shirt. There is nothing on. Like, not even any underwear. Just completely out there. Bye, everybody.